Welcome to The Explainer. Talking about time in Spanish is one thing, but how do you talk about how you spend that time? Today, we're going to dig into 4 really advanced structures that'll help you express duration, accumulated work, and final results, all by following a day in the life of a journalist. So, our journalist kicks off his day by saying he'd been waiting for his source for 2 hours. But check out the second part. This is where it gets really interesting. Ya le llevaba hechas 10 preguntas más. He's saying he had accumulated 10 more questions while he was waiting. We've got the same verb, llevar, but it's doing 2 totally different jobs, one for the continuous act of waiting, and the other for the accumulated result of thinking up questions. Let's unpack that. Okay, here's our game plan. We're going to follow the journalist's day, starting with how to describe time just ticking by. Then, we'll get into how to talk about work piling up. After that, we'll look at the finished product and even touch on those annoying things that happen over and over again. Finally, we'll put it all together to see the whole day. First up, the waiting game. When you want to talk about something that started in the past and is still going on right now, this is your absolute go-to structure. Llevar plus gerundio. The main idea here is that llevar plus gerundio answers the question, so how long has this been happening? It is absolutely perfect for describing a single, uninterrupted chunk of time you've spent on one thing. So, for example, our journalist lleva toda la mañana investigando. He started investigating this morning, and he's still at it. The clock is ticking, the action's still in progress. But all this investigating has to be producing something, right? And that leads us perfectly into our next structure. Exactly. He's not just killing time, he's actually getting work done. And this is where we pivot from focusing on the process to focusing on the results that are piling up from that process. So, what's so cool here is how the focus totally shifts from the act of doing something to what you've actually done. It's not about how long you've been at it, it's about what you have to show for it up to this point. It's all about counting your output. Okay, now for a really crucial detail. And this is one that trips up even very advanced learners. The participle, that little ado or ido word, has to match the gender and number of the thing you're talking about. Let's see what that actually looks like. And here you see it in action. Escrito matches the masculine article, but then it becomes escrita for the feminine noticia. It goes plural to escritos for informs, and then feminine plural escritas for crónicas. It might seem like a small thing, but getting this right is absolutely key to sounding natural. All right, so we've covered the time spent and the work that's piling up, but what about when a task is just, done, completely finished? For that, we need a slightly different but related tool. Here's how I like to think about it. Llevar plus participio is like tracking your progress on a journey. But tener plus participio, that's when you've arrived. It's all about the destination, the finished product that is sitting right there, done and ready to go. Let's make this crystal clear. If you say, llevo leídas 50 páginas, it sounds like you're just giving a progress report on a bigger book. But if you say, tengo leídas las 50 páginas, the whole vibe changes. It means that specific job is done. Those 50 pages are read, they're finished, and they are ready for whatever is next, like maybe writing a summary. Of course, a real workday isn't all about neat, tidy results. There's the daily grind, the stuff that just keeps happening over and over. And our next structure is perfect for adding a bit of personality and emotion into the story. This is how you talk about things that are always going on, and usually there's a little hint of frustration or criticism in there. It's less about one specific action and way more about a recurring and often pretty annoying pattern. And you can just feel the exhaustion in this quote, can't you? The editor isn't just looking for mistakes this one time, he's always looking for them. And Anda Buscando captures that repetitive, frustrating habit in a way that just saying siempre busca really can't. Okay, let's step back and put all these pieces together. We're going to see how these 4 different structures combine to paint a really complete picture of our journalist's day. And here it is, all laid out. The day begins with llevar plus gerundio for that long, continuous wait. Then we see the progress with llevar plus participio for the pages he's written so far. Tener plus participio shows us the finish line. The article is done. And finally, andar plus gerundio captures that never-ending, slightly frustrating search for new sources. Each one adds its own special flavor to the story. So what about you? Think about your own day. How could you use these structures to talk about what you've been doing with a lot more precision and nuance? Go on, give it a shot.